Yes, it's here. Let me open this. Settings. Display. Okay. Beautiful. Not this. Yeah. Is it visible now? Sorry, the words are a little small. Is that visible? Okay. 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 Give me a second. I'm going to share screen here as well. I guess this is the one. Yeah. Why this display thing is coming? Give me a second. Okay, we'll start this prayer. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukum karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande. Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Wonderful. So thank you for joining. I was thinking tomorrow is actually a beautiful day of Ramanomi. So we will discuss something from Ramayana today. You see, one of the, and I remember Mataji, you sharing the other day, both Ramayana and Mahabharata has something in common, and I was just thinking about it. The other aspect which I want to add on it is chaos is there in everyone's life, one or the other time of life. But there is an important concept of how do you thrive in chaos? There are very few people who know how to thrive in chaos. Most of the people struggle when chaos come or when difficulties come or situations come which they can't handle. They are just broken. They just don't know how to handle things. One time, uh, a person who was just saying things, and then he just came to a village, and then he asked the villagers, "Are there any great leaders born here?" What is the question he asked? Are there any great leaders born here in the village? The villager responded, no, only children are born here. So everyone is born as a children, as a child. How they take decisions in their life make them become a leader. So a lot of times there was one conversation which was happening between CEOs, and one said, what is the secret of your success? And I think mentioned one time, failure. For most of the people who fail the most, they became most successful because they went through difficult times and they made certain decisions, maybe right or wrong, and then enable them saying that what I should do and what I shouldn't do in my life. That's how they become a leader. So another story based on that. And I'll stop sharing my screen here. No need to. Actually, I'm not going to be sharing anything here, so I'm just going to go back here. Okay, I wasn't sharing the screen either. So there was a person who wanted to, again coming back to village. I just remembered another pastime which is connected. So this person was moving to a new village. The moment he entered the village, what do you do when you want to move to a new place? You want to see everything is okay, kids' education is okay. Will you be able to find a house? So this villager was moving to a new village, so he went in to see what is going on. So the moment he entered the village, he saw the crematorium. Is that called as crematorium where they put the tomb? What is the place? Is that? Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So very interesting thing which he noticed, on every tomb there was a number written, age. Somewhere it was 2, 5, 10, 15. Maximum was 20. So this fellow was a little nervous. So, which means the highest age of a villager here seems to be 20 years. So he was like, I don't know, what should I do? So he entered the village and then met the villagers, welcomed him like they literally worshipped him. So they were like, what is going on here? These people are so nice. So he entered the village, and people were so nice to him, he started becoming friends with them. So he stayed there for a few days or weeks to actually figure out how things are going. And he was very amazed with people's this. And he said, I have a question. They said, what is that question? He said, I am little afraid because I see the highest age of a person here I see is 20 years. So they were like, what are you talking about? Where did you see that? He said, when I entered the village, I saw this crematorium and the highest, there was written age. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about that. So these villagers responded, we have an interesting rule in this village. Every person who goes and hears, associates with sadhus and hear about the great personality, they write down how much time they hear. And when they leave their body, we take their diary and calculate the number of years, days, weeks, how much they actually spend on spiritual life. How much they spend in spiritual life. And that is what the age written is that. So some people associated for an entire year, 2 years, 20 years, 30 years. There's a very interesting phenomena which comes in Ramayana, and I'll come to that point and I'll connect back to the story. So the story starts in Ramayana when Dashrath Maharaj, he had many wives. Why he had many wives? Because Parshuram decided saying he's going to destroy entire Kshatriya dynasty from the earth. However, he had a rule. I will not kill the person who is getting married or who is behind a woman. So every time he would come to attack Ayodhya, Dashrath Maharaj will get married to get away with the wrath of Parshuram. So that's how he had many wives. But very interestingly, he did not have a single son. He did not have a single child. And he was so down with that thing, saying that who's going to, move on my dynasty? What will happen to my dynasty? So he was somehow very morose. And he was advised that you do a yajna. And in that yajna, when you do everything perfectly, then you will be offered the payasam, which you actually give it to your wives. And it happened. He got the payasam. So he gave some part of it to Kaushalya, some part of it he gave to Sumitra, and some part of it he gave it to Kaikai. These were the three primary queens. So from the womb of Kaushalya, Ram was born. And from the womb of Kaikai, Bharat was born. And from the womb of Sumitra, Lakshman and Shatrughna were born. When they were in the crib, there were 4 cribs and they were sleeping in their cribs. One day they started crying very bitterly. So the mothers were not able to figure out what's going on. Everyone tried, doctors came, oh, nothing wrong with them, but we can't understand. So their Raja Rishi came and he said, you know what? You put Lakshman in the same crib as Ram and you put Shatrughna as the same crib as Bharat. The moment they did that, they were very nicely, very happy. So they realized they have a tie-up with each other. So the life went on. Ram grew up, Lakshman grew up. Very interestingly, in Ram Lila, you have very small aspect which is covering Ram's childhood pastime versus Krishna. You see a huge backlog. You see tons of stories in Krishna, but not in Ram's Lila. And that is why Krishna performed those Leelas so that it can enchant everyone's heart. So when Dashrath Maharaj was there, one time Vishwamitra Muni came and he was welcomed very nicely. And I cover Vishwamitra Muni, who he was? I think one time I covered about Kamadhenu cow. You remember that? So Vishwamitra Muni was the king. He went to the forest to perform austerity. And now he became a Raja Rishi. And this is just happening. Sometime we will discuss a very beautiful aspect of Ram Lila. Very beautiful aspect. How Vishwamitra became Raja Rishi. Oh, so many. When I chose the term chaos, if you hear that, this is just unending aspect of it. So he came to Dashrath Maharaj and Dashrath Maharaj welcomed him. And he said, whatever you ask, I'll give you. He said, whatever you ask, I'll give you. So he was served very nicely. After that, he said, I want your son. Because demons are creating a lot of problem in the forest. I want your son. Dashrath Maharaj, एक तो पैसा, एक तो बच्चा हो नहीं रहा था, and then finally I got the son, and you are taking him to kill demons. He's just, I'll send the whole army, I'll come myself. No, nothing doing. I need your son. So Dashrath Maharaj, again some more arguing, and he saw Vishwamitra Muni became angry. Vishwamitra Muni was known for that thing. So Vashishta Muni, who was their Kulaguru, he told Dashrath Maharaj, you let Ram and Lakshman go. It is good for them. So somehow he had to put the rock in his heart and then he let him go. So when they are going, Vishwamitra Muni brings them. And remember this, for us, going to the forest, and I'm talking about that time, not like today's forest, is a very difficult aspect. Imagine a prince going to the forest. This is one of the very good quality of Ram, adjusting in any situation. Irrelevant of whatever situation comes on his way, he accepts them happily, and we will see that across the whole story. So he is sleeping on the grass, Ram and Lakshman. And then finally, he kills the demons. First he kills Tadaka, then he kills Subahu, and he hits Marichi very badly. Marichi is an uncle of Ravana. And he learned a lesson never to mess up with Ram. And then Ram comes and delivers Ahilya. I'm just speeding some part of the story because I want to focus on some main parts, because Ramayana is really huge. I want to cover main aspect. And he comes to Mithila. And at the time, the Shiv Dhanush is there, and Shiv Dhanush is being set up by Lord Ram, and he gets married to Mother Sita. And he comes with Mother Sita, he comes back to Ayodhya. Now this is where I want to start. Life is going fantastic. Everyone is so happy. One day Dashrath Maharaj decides, I'm becoming old now. Let me anoint Lord Ram as the king. And then I'll go to the forest. I'll do my Vanaprastha ashram. So he consulted everyone, and everyone was so happy. And then it was decided next morning he is going to become a king. Celebrations are starting. Everything is just going fantastic. Mantra, who is a servant of Kaikai, she enters into her palace. She says, Kaikai, do you know this? What is it? Lord Ram is becoming a king. Yeah, that's such a fantastic news. He loves me more than Kaushalya. He loves me more than Kaushalya. So that's wonderful. So Mantra said, you don't understand what's going on. If Ram becomes the king, which means Bharat will become the servant, Kaushalya becomes the mother of the prince, which means she becomes, there is a term for that one. Then you will become the servant of her. He will not be the primary queen. She will be the primary queen. And then that's how she injected the poison in her brain to start thinking about I, me, and mine, which we have been talking about in Bhagavad Gita so far. So, Mantra, what should I do? You remember one time you saved Dashrath Maharaj in the war field. And he promised you two boons, which you said, I will not take them now, but I'll ask you when I need it. You go and ask him now. But what am I going to ask? First, make Bharat the king. Okay, great. I'll say that. What is next? Ram should be banished to forest for 14 years. Why banishment? Because as long as Ram is physically there, impossible anyone would love anyone else. That was his character. And I'll spell more on that part. So he has to go. But why 14 years? Because based on the scriptures, if anyone leaves his kingdom for 14 years, he cannot come back and ask that kingdom back. So tomorrow, even if Ram comes, Bharat will still remain the king. We don't want him to be just king for 14 years. Let him just go to the forest for 14. He can't ask the kingdom back. Okay. She went to Dashrath Maharaj, asked these boons. Dashrath Maharaj, imagine a father who did not have a son, and now he has a son, or he has more sons now, not just one. And now one has to go to the forest, the most dear one, and that is for 14 years. That is, imagine a fatherly love, and especially being a king, a prince is going to the forest. Again, initially he went for Vishwamitra Muni, but he came back. Now we are talking about not couple of years, for 14 years we are talking about. How are we going to basically live without him? But this news has to be given to Ram. Very interesting thing. When you live in material world, you think the problems will not come to us. Everything is going to be great. What is Lord Ram teaching us here? Lord Ram is teaching us that anything can happen at any time. Irrelevant of what, whoever you are, not that the destiny is more powerful than Lord Ram. That's not the philosophy I'm speaking about. Then destiny will become God, right? No. That's not the point we are talking about. Leadership is a principle how you thrive in chaos. That's how you become, your name comes in scriptures. That's why Lord Ram is so great. Right? Lord Ram is so great. So at the time when he is called to come there, and then Kai tells him these things, that you go to the forest. What is the reaction Lord Ram had it? That's the most shocking part of it. He said, thank you very much. Are I'm asking you to go to the 14 years into the forest and you are saying thank you very much? My dear mother, I've been yearning to go to the forest and hear from the sages sitting next to their feet. There are two terms which we use often, and I want to hear from you. One term is knowledge, and second is wisdom. Can you tell me what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Anybody?
I think knowledge is a theory, the concept, whereas wisdom is how do you apply it.
Very good. Anything else?
Knowledge does not necessarily talk about the character,
Hmm.
but the wisdom does indicate what the character of a person is.
Beautiful. Thank you. Both the points are wonderful. Just because, in respect of time, these are wonderful points. You see, cow, when she eats the grass, and she sits for hours chewing that grass, and that's what actually makes milk. So these sadhus or rishis, or who are these sages, they gain that knowledge which you mentioned about, and then chew on that. They realize that knowledge. They realize that knowledge. They experience that life. And they finally, when they speak, it penetrates the heart of a receiver. If a person, like for an example, if I have to tell you how great is pizza, irrelevant of however much I tell you, if I don't taste it, what is the greatness of any food, I will not be able to convince you why you should eat. Like, I'm a foodie guy, to be honest, and if you have to really learn eating, I'll tell you what is so good about it. So when these sages experience in their life, and when they speak this philosophy, it just doesn't remain knowledge, but it's a realized knowledge, which is called as Vigyan, Gyan and Vigyan. So it's very rare to hear from such souls, and whenever you get an opportunity, please use that opportunity. That's wisdom. Because there are three ways of learning. One is to see things. I want to see things. Sorry, first, the best class is hearing. You hear this is how the material world is designed, or here is how, and you understand this is, I should not be doing this, I should be doing that. Second way of learning is I want to see things. Then only I see, then I only believe. The third level of knowledge is I hear, I see, but I want to experience it. Unless I experience, I don't trust it. I was with my, I was living in Pune, and I was, every morning, I would go to my mentor's place and we would chant together 16 rounds. And then after that, we would hear Bhagavatam. We will read Bhagavatam. So in Bhagavatam, it said, there was a verse which was talking about this world is dukhalyam ashashvatam, which means what? This world is full of miseries eternally. And I told my counselor, "Allah, Prabhu, please forgive me about it, my mentor. I understand that aspect. I'll be very honest. My job is fantastic. My relationship, great. No issues, no frictions, no conflicts. Fantastic. Are there any health issues? No health issues. My job is great. My health is great. My relationships are good. And my economic situation is great. Whatever I should be earning, I have more than enough. You are saying this world is dukhalim and shashwat. It doesn't penetrate in my heart. What is this knowledge? I want to experience it. Not that I didn't see it. I've seen enough people suffering. No, it doesn't happen to me, which means it doesn't exist. Am I making sense so far? A person who never had a heart issue can never understand what the other person is going through, because I don't have an issue. So how do I know what other person is going through? Right? So when Ram heard that, I want to get that wisdom from these sages, he was so happy. I want to give in and go and live in the forest. This is leadership. This is how you thrive in chaos. When difficult situations come, how do you handle those situations? There are two ways to handle the situation. Three ways. One is you crib about it. Why me? Why me? Second is you blame on someone else. It's because of them. He could say, Kaikai, it's because of all Kaikai it happened to me. And third one is acceptance, which is gracefully accepting whatever comes on my way. And Ram is being sent to the forest. So he's leaving. But now the question comes is, why Dashrath Maharaj has to go through that? Dashrath Maharaj once went for an excursion into the forest. There was a person, a young boy, who had old parents, mother and father. He wanted to actually take old parents, and they were blind, and he wanted to take them to all holy places. And during those times, there were no trains or all that stuff. So he would carry them on a kind of a palanquin, holding in the center. And then one side is mother and one side is father. His name is? Thank you. Shravan. Shravan. Yes. He was carrying them. The parents asked them, go and fetch some water. So he went to the river, fetched some water. And then Dashrath Maharaj thought, it's a lion who is coming to drink the water. He released the arrow, hit to the heart of Shravan, and he made a crying call. You came there, Dashrath Maharaj, he noticed, oh, I did a blunder. And he said, why? That, this is what was happening. I was carrying my parents to the holy places. They are blind and old. So, and he left. So now Dashrath Maharaj, because they were blind, he came to them and mentioned what happened. They first called, oh, Shravan, you are here, give us the water. And he gave them the water, Dashrath Maharaj. You don't look like you are Shravan, though I can't see you, but basically based on your feet movement, I can understand. Then he explains what had happened. They cursed them. As we lost our son, and they left their world, left this world at that time, you will go through the same situation. The destiny is so cruel. And again, who decides our destiny? Who design? We ourselves design. There is nobody else coming in and, I would like, for an example, A person who doesn't like sweets, he will not get a sugar disease. A person who likes, like me, I love sugar. And when I eat that, if I get a sugar, it's my problem. And it's not that somebody came and gave it to me, oh, you don't need, here you go. It doesn't work like that. Nobody threw the ball at me saying that you hold it. No, I'm responsible for it. Destiny is so cruel. Not only you get what you're talking about, but you get the same intensity. This is very painful. The intensity of their suffering, losing their son, with the same intensity a person has to suffer. What does that mean? One time we were going in Vrindavan. Sorry, I'm just going here, but I want to cover. A guy was carrying a goat. Not in Vrindavan. I forgot the place. And he was massaging. This guy was Muslim. So they were going on the bike. They were, the guy was sitting behind Jai Shri Radha Gopi Janal Bhagwan Ki Jai and Sai Pati Tapan Gaurari Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki. So this guy was, I'll remove that screen here. So this guy was tapping. Oh, this is nice. What is goat thinking? What is goat thinking? Oh, he's loving me, right? Oh, he's taking care of me so nicely. What is going to happen to her? Yeah. This world is very brutal. When we kill someone, we have to suffer the same amount of intensity suffering which we are doing to other animal without realizing that stuff. So Dashrath Maharaj is experiencing the same amount of pain which Shravan's parent actually experienced when they lost their son. Though he didn't lose his son yet. Remember this. Power of separation is very strong. And when Lord Ram is going, when he is ready at the chariot in the morning, whole Ayodhya is waiting there. But before this interesting thing happens, Lakshman goes to his mother's palace. Who's his mother? Thank you. So he goes to Sumitra and he's thinking one mother, because of his attachment to her son, she sent Ram to 14 years. I hope this mother should not deprive me from the service of Lord Ram. The moment he enters with that mood, and before he speaks, Sumitra speaks. She says, when I was given that paisam, the celestial nectar, I realized this is the substance. Now I realize the fruit of that thing. What is the fruit? That you serve Ram and my other son serves Bharat. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. And she says, from today onwards, Ram is your Dashrath. Means Ram is your father. Sita is your mother, Sumitra. And Ayodhya is a forest for you. And forest is Ayodhya for you. Who's saying? Lakshman's mother, Sumitra. And Lakshman was so happy. So happy. He took her blessings. After saying that, she bitterly cried. That's a separate story. For a mother, balancing emotions and balancing not practicality, responsibility is a very important aspect. And who plays both of these? Very important. The responsibility is taken care by intelligence. Am I making sense? Responsibility is taken care by intelligence. I need to know what has to be done. But love is coming from the heart. A lot of times what happens is the application part generally comes from the heart. That's where the problem is. She balanced it. She cried after, because it's now hard. His son is going for 14 years. I will not be able to see him. And it's not a regular thing. He's a prince. He is going there in the forest. He went to his wife's palace. Who's his wife? Anybody remember? Urmila. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Help me also remember. I want to remember these names. So he goes to Urmila, and Urmila is painting. What she's painting? Urmila is an introvert person. She's painting the coronation of Lord Ram and Sita. So she's making a beautiful painting and wanted to give to Lord Ram and Sita the next day. Or actually that day, actually morning, about to happen. It's midnight, is all this stuff going on. So she wanted to give that to him. And when the Lakshman woman enters, she's painting, and then the painting gets off from his hand, and the whole painting is spoiled. So, now because the whole paint is just going on. So, and then she sees Lakshman, and now he is also confused what she's going to say, and he thought she will say, "I'll also come to the forest like Mother Sita said." But if I take her, then my responsibility will not be there because I will not be able to give my 100% to Lord Ram. So he's already prepared how he's going to say no to her. And what she says is very beautiful. She says, "My Lord, I don't want to be a burden on your responsibility. I'm happy, not happy. I'm willing to stay here until you serve Lord Ram there because I want you to serve them with 100% focus rather than being divided this thing." Not that she's saying, "Arey, aaram hua, abhi mere ko tension nahi hai. You go, I don't want to go." That is chastity. That is chastity. So, Lakshmi is very happy. I want to share this story. Isaac Newton, or no, Edison, what is that? Edison Newton, right? What is that?
Isaac.
Isaac Newton, thank you. Sorry, I mess up with the names. I have a problem with that. When he was a small boy, one time he got a letter from his school and he gave it to his mother. It was a real story. And he said, the teacher said, this letter should directly go to mother only, nobody else should read. So the mother reads this. What she reads, the teacher is saying, your son is genius. Our school doesn't have enough scholarly teachers who can teach him. Why don't you teach him at home? You're with me so far, right? So then his mother was actually crying reading that letter, and this is what she read to Newton, Isaac Newton. And he was like, no, Thomas Edison, sorry,
I
not.
think no, it is Einstein, actually. Albert Einstein.
Was it Albert Einstein?
Albert Einstein. He doesn't. He's not able to speak until 3 or 4 years or something. So he goes to school, but he's not able to speak or grasp anything.
Okay. So let's keep that. I struggle with the name. When he grows up, somehow I heard Thomas Edison. What is that?
Yeah, so Isaac Newton, Thomas Edison.
Yeah, who created the bulb? Is that Thomas?
Thomas Edison.
Yeah. Okay. So he grew up, and he became a great scientist. His mother is also passed away from this world, so he somehow finds this letter. When he opens that letter, he starts crying. He wrote in his diary, by the way. That's how the story came up. When he read that, you know what was the letter saying? Your son is mentally ill. We cannot keep him in the school. Better you train him. Better you train him. He said like that. And he wrote in his diary, very beautiful line. He said, uh, an mentally ill person or mentally ill child became the great history in the world because of his heroic mother. He writes that stuff. That's the caliber. You see, what is the quality of hero? You see, in Ramayana and Mahabharata, two persons, two people are criticized very heavily. One is in Ramayana, Mother Sita, and in Mahabharata, Draupadi. Why?
Because that caused all the commotion.
Not just that, the whole dynasty here, the whole country is wiped out, and her whole dynasty is wiped out. This is one aspect of the story. Okay, now I'll tell you how to answer that point. When Draupadi's 5 sons were killed, and I shared that the other day, Ashwathama is brought in by Arjuna. Now you kill him, whatever way you want to kill him, you kill him. He brings him to near to Draupadi. What does Draupadi say? Draupadi says, he is the son of your guru. I know what a pain lady goes through when she loses her children. Please relieve him. I don't want his mother to go through the same pain. This is Draupadi. What is Mother Sita? I'll tell you about this. After the whole war is finished, Hanuman comes to Mother Sita. There were 700 demonesses who were troubling her. You know what kind of trouble they were doing? They were discussing. Prabhu, in a class, can I give you a call later? Okay. No, I didn't. Okay. So, where was I? 700 demonesses. They would discuss, I want to eat her hands. I want to eat her legs. I want to eat her head. That is the thought. When you have a negativity around you, you will not be able to do your best potential. Have you noticed that? In China, in Japan or China, please forgive me about that. When they want to cut the tree, they have to pay a lot of money to cut the tree. Here also it's the same thing, right? So what they would do is the whole village would come together and will give chastisement to this tree. You are good for nothing. You have always been giving us trouble. They would do it for 1 week. Next week, they can easily cut that tree. Real story. Because it loses its strength. But Sita was not affected. You know what she said? Hanuman said, what punishment should I give to these 700 demonesses? Mother Sita says, it's not their problem because they were an association of Ravana, but that's why they did like that. Relieve them. This is Mother Sita. This is Mother Sita. So coming back to this, now Ram, Lakshman, Sita, they are ready to actually go to the forest and whole Ayodhya city is just there. And Ram asked Sumantra, who was actually a chariot driver, to drive the chariot very fast. Why? Because with the speed you go, it will cause less pain to my father Dasharath Maharaj because he'll be able to see me for a distance. Let me just go right away. And he was just driving at such a high speed. And Dasharath Maharaj was crying, calling Sumantra, wait, bring Ram back. But he wouldn't stop. He was confused. Ram would say, hi. He said, whom should I follow? He says, when you come back, you tell that I couldn't hear. Ram is telling him to say lie. Are, how come Ram is saying? Because the truth is good as long as it doesn't cause pain to others. So he goes. But citizens are not giving up. They are still following him. They are coming behind him, behind Ram. And he reaches to a place and Lord Ram realizes, these guys are not going. What should I do? They are crying incessantly in front, separation from the Lord. Lord Ram is thinking, as a king, he's not a king yet, but as a well-wisher, I don't want to onboard my difficulty on them. This punishment is for me. Why should they suffer? Like I was giving the example of Yudhishthira Maharaj the other day. The citizens were saying, we don't want to live here. We want to come with you. Are tumko jungle mein, you will not get anything. No problem. Better to live for a king who loves us or who cares for us rather than someone who is exploiting us. Irrelevant of whatever luxury we are living in. So here everyone is in. And that is a time Lord Ram tells Bharat. Lord Ram tells the citizens, if you love me, with the same loving affection, you should take care of Bharat. And with your body, mind, and words, you should serve, and soul, you should serve Bharat. And then he started going again. And then people started following because they understood. But the heart is in the pain. How can we live without our Ram? So they're running behind him. And at the time, Ram actually asked them, you go fast. But he sees there are old people who are not able to follow, who are falling down. So at the time, Lord Ram realizes, this is not good at my side. I am actually on this chariot and they are walking. They are walking. How can I just let them go like that? Thank you, Prabhuji. How can I let them go like that? So he got down from the chariot and started walking. Now, very interesting thing. Mother Sita never saw the forest. Never. So she is asking on the way to Ram, did we reach the forest? Did we reach the forest? Ram is saying, Are, nahi, abhi to Ayodhya mein hum log. We haven't reached even. We haven't got out of Ayodhya. That is Mother Sita. Such a soft and delicate personality. Forget about forest. She haven't heard about what is a forest. You see, Gautam Rishi who became Buddha. How did he become Buddha? His father and mother protected him that he should never see anything which is bad in this world. He was pampered like anything from every aspect. He did not know what is death. He did not know what is pain. Everything is great. One time, he got to go out. He saw an old person. He saw people suffering. Arey, what is that? He became Buddha. World is suffering. As long as we live in I, me, mind world, nothing happens to me. We can never become the transformed person. Why Gautam became Buddha? Because he understood, he penetrated the pain of other people. Not that, oh, I'm getting my chapati, I'm getting my food, I'm getting my loan, I'm getting my house. That's not what Krishna consciousness is all about. That's not what spirituality is all about. How to penetrate, how to understand what other person is going through. And that is what Lord Ram is teaching us here. He's seeing what are they experiencing. Can you imagine? Our mundane conception of blood relationship is so strong. We only connect with our relatives whom we have a blood relationship. So many people die every day. Doesn't matter to us. Oh yeah, maybe that happened there. Maybe not even a sometime tear fall from our eyes. What happened to the world today? So here Lord Ram crying for them. And then finally they reached the river, which is actually the boundary of Ayodhya. And it is evening, Lord Ram decides to sleep there. And at the time, Lakshman makes the bed for Ram and Sita, and they lay down. And Lakshman and Sumantra could not sleep. And then they were discussing what had happened in the palace. And Lakshman was, that is the time Lakshman is actually telling to Sumantra what his mother dealt, because that's the internal story. That's not going out. It was told to Sumantra saying that what had happened to his mother, what had happened to his wife. It's mentioning that. Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, she came to Sumantra. Sumantra went to sleep. And he actually came to Lakshman. Lakshman, I'm here to serve. Lakshman said, what are you doing? I cannot sleep for 14 years. Entire 14 years, Lakshmanji never slept even for a moment. He said, but that's against the law. He said, you go and ask my wife, you give my quota to her. That's why Urmila slept in the afternoon or morning time to cover Lakshman's sleep, and night she went to cover her quota. So entire 14 years were like that for Urmila, and entire 14 years were like that for Lakshman. He did not eat for entire 14 years. Nobody knew. One time, Lord Ram was told the biggest austerity was done by Lakshman after this war has happened. What austerity? He didn't eat for entire 14 years, he didn't sleep. Lord Ram says, no, this is not possible. I was giving him fruit every day. Lakshman said, my dear Lord, in Panchavati where we were staying, go to the tree and you will find all the fruits there which you gave it to me. I never ate them. But there were two fruits which were missing. Ram said, which means you ate those 2 days. No, my dear Lord. One day, when Mother Sita was stolen or taken away, you fasted, you didn't eat, didn't give it to me. And there was another day, he said, I forgot that day. So you didn't give me the fruit that day, which means I didn't eat. They are there in the forest. Finally, they come that midnight, Lord Ram leaves from there without notifying the citizens. And he says to the chariot driver, Sumantra, you drive in such a way so that my citizens see that the chariot, the marks of the chariot should show towards Ayodhya, not towards the other side. So when they woke up in the morning, they were searching, where are horses? Where is Lord Ram? Where is Mother Sita? Where is Lakshman? And they were very sad. But they see the marks of the chariot showing towards the Ayodhya. They felt that maybe they went to Ayodhya. Ayodhya literally became the place of crematorium. Everyone was like dead body there. They were living like that for 14 years. How did Bharat live? When he came to know, at the time Bharat was not there when everything is happening, but when he comes back and he comes to Lord Ram for coming back, I'm just cutting that story short. He brings the Paduka of Lord Ram and puts it into the king's chair, and he sleeps like Lord Ram outside. He's just pretending, or he's just trying to actually play the role of Lord Ram, but he never took up position of Lord Ram. This is Bharat. Very interestingly, I want to share about Bharat's qualification. What is the qualification of Bharat? When Lord Ram actually kills Vali, when he kills Vali, there is a fight between Vali and Sugriva. And Vali, you know what he calls it? How is that possible? A brother of Bharat kills me behind the tree. What does he say? Brother of Bharat kills me from behind. That was the caliber of Bharat. Can you imagine the Lord Ram comes secondary? That is Bharat's character. That is his position. Who is Vanar? Is glorifying Bharat. Are you come? You are his brother. How could you do that? Jai Shri Radha Gopi Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. How could you do that? Lord Ram comes there and then leaves in the middle of the night. And then he comes to Mother Ganga. He comes to Mother Ganga, he takes a bath and actually meditates on Mother Ganga. What do we learn from Mother Ganga? Though she is there to take care of everyone, you see why people go and take bath in Mother Ganga, my sins will be destroyed. So her whole existence is around serving others, but she never forgets her goal to go to the ocean. Irrelevant of however amount of obstacles come on her way, she figures out a way to somehow go here or there, but comes and joins to the ocean. What is ocean for us? Ocean for us is that spiritual world where Krishna is waiting for us. Lord Ram is waiting for us. And these world's problem, whatever we come across, they are challenges. Irrelevant of however the challenges is, they are not the goal of our life. They are struggles, and we somehow cross through that and actually come to our actual place where we want to be. What is that place? To go back to Ayodhya, to go back to Vrindavan. That's the place. That's what we want to go. And Lord Ram comes to Bharadwaj Rishi. Bharadwaj Rishi says, before he goes there, before he even reaches to Ganga, I missed one point. He comes to a tribal village where there was a king called as Guha. And he was actually a friend of Dasharath Maharaj, and he welcomed him, please come. And he welcomed him and served Lord Ram very nicely. And Lord Ram was very happy. He said, you live in this my kingdom for 14 years. We will comfortably serve you and you can go back. And this is in the border of Ayodhya. It will be easy for you. He said, no, I don't want to cheat. What is my ask? My father asked me, you should not be in the kingdom. So I shouldn't be living in the kingdom. And this is very important. I will, for entire 14 years, I will live on fruits and berries. There are frictional stories which says Ram ate meat in the forest. And this is the answer. Lord Ram promised for entire 14 years, I'm not going to touch anything other than fruits and berries. That is Lord Ram. And then he served him nicely. When the night came, and then I'll bypass that story, he asked one of the boatmen to actually cross him over. This boatman, everyone entered. He stopped Ram. No, you can't enter. You are supposed to cross him over the Ganga, which is happening here. So you're saying no. He said, my dear Lord, your feet are very powerful. Your feet are very powerful. You touch Ahelya, which I was mentioning about. She became from stone to a lady. I'm already married. I don't want another woman. How about if my boat? I just have one boat. That will become a lady. I don't want. So what should I do? Let me wash your feet. Let me wash your feet. So he's washing the feet of Lord Ram. And when he's washing, he's looking at Mother Sita very mysteriously. So what had happened? When Lord Vishnu and Mother Lakshmi was there in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha, there was one tortoise. And Lord Vishnu's feet were outside, so he was thinking about these are the stems of lotus flower and he wanted to touch. And Lakshmi said, go away from here. He said, go away from him. Give me 1 second. Prabhuji, in the class, is it urgent? Okay. Hare Krishna. He said, go away from here. Now the tortoise came as this boatman whose name is Keval. He says, my dear Mother Lakshmi, you did not let me do that. Now, in the previous life when you were Lakshmi, now see, I am washing the feet of Lord Ram. So I'm washing the feet of Lord Ram and I'm drinking the nectar. That is what was happening to Keval. And that's how he actually made the Lord cross over the the Ganga river. Now, very interestingly, when once he reached to the other side, he wanted to give him something, but Lord Ram is in the forest. So he asked Mother Sita to give her a ring. So he removed mother's. He got this ring from Mother Sita, and then he actually gave it to this cable. He said, "I'm not doing this service for this some kind of a benefit. It's my great fortune that I was able to render this service." And very interestingly, Lord Ram wears that ring rather than giving it to Sita. Why? Anybody? Think over. When Mother Sita was stolen, Hanuman wanted to go as a messenger to Mother Sita. He wanted an identity to identify that he is actually the servant of Ram. He gives him that ring. Whose ring is that? Mother Sita's ring. And he brings that ring and shows to Mother Sita that I am the representative of Lord Ram. Lord Ram already knew this is going to happen. So this is how this beautiful Ramayana. I know it's 4:55. We can speak about hours, and our Ramayana is so beautiful. So many lessons. My goodness, as number of waves are there in ocean, those many beautiful leelas of Lord Ram, and especially teachings. Most importantly, so the question comes in is, well, this is nice. We got to hear about these pastimes. What is an application for me? What is a wisdom for me? How do I actually take it from there? Lord Ram teaches us forbearance, how to handle difficulty, how to be equipoised in whatever happens in our life. And that is what Arjuna will be being taught. Arjuna lost his son. And you know how brutally it was killed. And same way, you see from Ram Lila, oh Krishna, there is unlimited suffering, unlimited difficulty. No one can stand up and say, oh, my difficulties are bigger. अरे 14 years के बाद खत्म नहीं हुआ. It didn't get over after that. After when Mother Sita is brought back, one washerman says, oh, you know, this Mother Sita, she is not chaste. She lived in the kutir of Ravana. So she is not chaste. And then she had to go through Agni Pariksha. She went through the Agni and then nothing happened. So proved out. Again this guy said, no. Some other person said, this is what is happening. He had to abandon Mother Sita. And Mother Sita went to who wrote the Ramayana? I forgot. Valmiki. She lives in his ashram, and that's how the Ramayana is composed. Ramayana is actually sung in the form of a poem. And who sang that first? Her sons, Love and Kush. They actually sang this, and that's how it came to Lord Ram. Lord Ram said, for yourness, the citizens, I'll live alone like that. And Mother Sita, this is forbearance. Not that we should do like that. We don't have a capability to do that stuff. But the point is that being loyal to whatever spiritual life we are practicing. Not that when difficulties come, we will leave. Seen so many people, oh, why it happens to me? I've been practicing bhakti. Does it mean that the problems will not come to me? I'm sorry. That's not what we actually preach. That's not what we promise you. Irrelevant of whoever you are, the promises will come, but you'll be able to fly at much higher platform. You see, I want to end with this. There is a special bird called as bizard. If you haven't heard. So this bird, to fly, he has to run for 10 feet minimum, and then he can fly high. So what does that mean? If you put that bird with the open box on the top, but on the side, he can never fly. Though it's a bird, it can fly up. Birds fly up. They don't fly on the surface. They fly up. What is the situation for this bird? Based on my previous conditioning, based on my previous situation, I just know only how to handle this thing. I cannot go over that. That is not how you become a great leader. Am I making sense? The problems we receive are not in our list. Oh, you know, if I'm a green card holder and I'm a citizen, oh, that's okay. If I lose the job, no problem, my lord, if you want to take the job, because at least I won't be kicked out of the country. That's not how the problems come. Problems are designed for us to get out of our comfort zone. As long as we are in comfort zone, we will not become the leader. Because leaders are someone who take risk, who uses every opportunity to grow. Now one may say, I don't want to be the leader. Well, irrelevant of whether I want to be a leader or not leader, I have to evolve. A butterfly, how does it become butterfly? He has to go the transformation. Then only it will become a butterfly. From a caterpillar to a butterfly. That's why it becomes so beautiful. So here Lord Ram shows with his character, shows with his example. Opportunities are hidden everywhere whenever we go through difficulty. How we transform ourselves, those experiences, that's what it teaches. What is the difference between change and transformation? Anybody?
I think you told one.
I did,
Change
okay.
is reversible.
Thank you, I did that. Thank you. Yes, it's irreversible. I don't want to become a.
I was sharing at my workplace because we're going through some transformation. They call it as journey of change.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Manaji. So that's the beauty of Lord Ram. That's the beauty of every person in Ramayana. Ramayana, to be honest, if you ask me, that's the story which makes us cry at every page. Every person you go through, they actually teach you what they went through. You see Bharat Maharaj, you see Bharat, you see Lakshman. For Lakshman, Hare, what? I am not sent to the forest. Why should I have to? There is one thing, there are difficulties awarded or based on our karma we get it, and we have to go through it. Hold on. The punishment is for Ram. Lakshman doesn't have to go through this suffering, but he invites that opportunity to actually go through that. Why? I don't want to live in comfort zone. I want to better live with my Lord. I want to serve rather than being in my comfort zone. I want to actually experience what it goes through spiritual life. We were talking about Gautam who became Buddha. That's the story. So what do we pray on Ramayana? We pray to Lord Ram, Lakshman, Sita, Hanuman. Hanuman, Krishna. That's another 5-6 hours of lecture we can speak about. What a personality. What a personality. Whole life. Whenever we speak about Ram, I'm sure Hanuman is, it said everywhere Hanuman is always there. That's his glory. I want to hear. I want to be. One time, when Mother Sita, again coming back to Mother Sita, after the war is over, Jatayu, he was killed. And when Mother Sita, the ladies put sindoor, and then when Sita was putting the sindoor, she started crying like anything. And he asked Lord Ram, why are you crying? Remembering Jatayu. He gave his life to me. For my this. She's remembering gratitude. My Lord, whatever you have given us, let me be grateful to whatever you have given us and appreciate and be grateful at every moment. So with that, it's 5:02. I want to end here. Any comments, any reflections? Whatever you felt, touching your heart, thinking about, this is a takeaway for me today. Let's do it that way. Shikant Prabhu, you want to start?
I think taking challenges, and as you said, there are three ways to deal with it, like blame it or curse about it, or make best out of it. So I think choosing that and then following the ideals or ideal examples of how to handle that challenge without losing our own character. I think, yeah, that's very tough because we tend to somehow switch back to option one, option two.
Yes.
But yeah, it's very. But knowing that there is an option three and knowing the people who followed that or characters who followed that and give us the ideal example, I think it's very important.
Yes. Ram's example is beautiful that way. Thank you, bro. Swami Prabhu, you want to add something?
So I watched a movie, Ramakrishna. Those two kids, they're very upset with so-called Rama. So the mom,
is the father.
Yes.
the mom actually teaches them what he is.
Ramayana.
I think the summary of what I learned is the best leadership you could follow is Rama.
Yes.
He ruled the country really well. He's a very honest person.
Yes.
Took care of everyone with dignity and respect. So, if you have a chance to do any leadership role, just remembering him and doing that way, with the best for you, best for everyone else.
Amazing. Yes, wonderful. Mataji, you want to add something?
I think in today's world, everybody wants to do something, but not always you get the dream job or whatever work you want to do. You're just thrown with some things. So how do you make good of those opportunities? How do you see positive side of it? Because every opportunity is a learning opportunity.
Yes.
So how do you make best out of it and gain additional knowledge? Maybe that kind of paves a different path.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Adding to her point is, I've been managing people for almost 25 years doing projects.